Peace, everyone. Gratitude for being here today. I appreciate your presence. I appreciate the acknowledgement and your time and energy towards Karmic Dynasty. I appreciate you all. Today, I have here with me on the platform Mama Mayat. Now, this is my plan, so I need those who know me to roll with me today and Mama Mayat. My outlook is to share her who's okay. So let's say I'm sharing a video. I'm just here in the background today. I came in a presentable manner. I'm here to share today. So Mama Mayat, this is her show today. And I will be in the background sharing comments. You will mostly just probably hear my voice more than see me. And and the effort of mine is to not disturb the energy that is necessary for today. To get us started, I am going to share how I came about this broadcast. There was a brother on here sharing his product, some tarot cards. The description is in the link to this video if you like more information on those cards or the brother that created that set. Now, today you will see that set, and for any questions concerning it, refer to the description box area of this video. At this time, I am presenting, Karmic Dynasty is presenting Mama Mayat. Welcome her, greet her. We are grateful for her being here today. And at this time, you will be with Mama Mayat. Welcome to Karmic Dynasty. Gratitude. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Peace and love, everyone. Peace and love. First, I just like to start by extending my gratitude for this platform. Excuse me if I take a few deep breaths. The last nerves. I already got the cards set up to get rid of any nervous talking or excess time. So I want to jump right in. I'll start by introducing myself. I am Mama Mayat. I am an oracle, and I would say I prefer oracle than the word medium or any other term used to describe what one may think I do. For I am just a vessel of source. I channel directly from source and nothing else. So when I do give my readings, when I do give my intuitive guidance, it is not biased. It is not my opinion. It is not my knowledge or my preference. It is truth. Mayat. You may have heard of Mayat. If not, when I refer to Mayat, I can be talking about myself. However, I am referring to the Kemetic deity, goddess Mayat. She has 7 principles. They are truth, justice, balance, harmony, propriety, reciprocity, and order. And those are just a few of her principles. She has 42. Now, the 42 laws or 42 principles of Mayat are the guidelines of what we are to be living by day to day, to be living in the light of, to be living holistically, to be living righteously, to continue to exchange energy in the light of which we would like it to be returned. We must live in the light of Mayat. We must live righteously. We must live and exchange only truth, okay? Mayat is balance. And I don't know if I listed balance. I probably did because I was naming the 7. But Mayat is balance, holy, the equilibrium. Mayat is the balance between masculine and feminine. Mayat is the masculine between metaphysical and physical. I am Mayat, and Mayat expresses herself through me on all and every level. Through my birth chart, through my day-to-day life, I live by Mayat. I live by this knowledge of self. This is not just a game. This is not just a show I put on. This is not a front. This is me. Character, behind closed doors, and all. I live my life by this knowledge of self, by the laws of Mayat, by the holistic source. Today, I'm so grateful for this platform because Source has prepared me to bring forth the truth that we are to be adjusting to now moving forward. We always have knowledge for specifically for that time, right? So whereas a few years back, what was bigger than knowledge of self, or this holistic knowledge that is now prominent and rising, was more of the 5% nation, where the man was on a pedestal. However, the tables have turned, and it's time for the holistic viewpoint, the whole, the bigger picture. um, Holistic is balance, it's the equilibrium. Now you cannot look at anything and get a holistic perspective or a holistic viewpoint. You cannot see the bigger picture without seeing the opposite. Whether if you're looking at something in this physical, you have to take into factor what is going on in the metaphysical, what is going on spiritually, or any situation. Even when you are channeling, okay, if you're a reader or if you're praying, if you're meditating, you want to be able to call on Source holistically. So that brings me to this reading. But however, before I dive into this reading, before I dive into the truth and elevate everyone's knowing and elevate everyone's mind and subconscious to the next level, I must give you the correct layout, because I will be making references during my reading and I want everyone to be on the same page. So we all know about the Holy Trinity. The Holy Trinity, the number that represents the Holy Trinity is known to be 13. All right, well, 1 plus 3 is 4. And the Holy Trinity, as we know it to be, is not per se complete. I am also reflecting light from Sister Myra as well. Please, please. That sister right there is really a God sent, Source sent. So yes, back to what I was saying. I lost my train of thought, excuse me. All right, so let's dive in. The Holy Trinity is incomplete as we know it to be. There are four pieces, four puzzle pieces that make up Source holistically, that make up this entire universe, okay? So follow me. The universe is made up of its 4 elemental energies. It expresses itself through its elements, all right? You cannot get no higher than the 4 elements. You cannot get no higher than the 4 elements. The 4 elements make up Source, all right? These 4 elements can be identified as the 4 members of the Royal Black Cosmic Family. And the Royal Black Cosmic Family expresses themselves through their elements as well. And they can be characterized by their elements. We're going to start with Mama. Now, before we go into Mama, we know, and a lot of we've been known to make the mistake and say Mama Nature or Mama Earth. It's time to align with the truth, okay? With the age of Aquarius, is the truth is reigning and you cannot stop it, all right? So either you get with it, or you can choose to stay in your lane, but it won't take you exactly where you want to go. You will not be able to reach a holistic point. You will not be able to see the bigger picture and get the full effect, get the full kickback of what we are here to experience as chosen ones, as the elects of God, and until you adapt, all right, and raise with the vibration. So Mama Universe, Mama, she is the hidden realm. Mama's sole purpose is to nurture and protect the royal Black family. Like I said, she is the hidden realm. She is the magic. She is the subconscious. All right, Mama, you go to her with the problem. You go to Mama for guidance. Mama is internal. Okay. And like I was saying, you can't have one and not have the opposite. You can't have 180, and you can't be looking at something from just your perspective and think that you have the complete perspective. You can't work with one element and not work with the rest. All right. So if you have Mama, if you have a hidden realm, you also have Father Spirit, Father Air. And I don't know if I mentioned Mama's element. Mama's element is water. So let me go back for a second. Mama's element is water. Now, if you are familiar with tarot, you know water is connected to the cups, and water has to do with emotions. Water has to do with feeling. Now, if you are feeling something within, if you have a strong feeling of something, that is Mama. Okay, not if you're hearing it or thinking it. If you are feeling it deeply, that is Mama. That's that gut feeling. That's that intuition. All right. The more you identify, the more you get comfortable, the stronger it will get. The more you identify your connection with Mama and all the elements as well to a holistic point. So then we have Mama's balance. Okay, so you have this opposite. I mean, you have Mama. Her opposite is Father Air. Father Air is the visible. Okay, Father Air is the knowing, the logic. Father only depends and the reasoning. He will depend on what he knows to be true. Nothing outside of what he knows to be true. That is why Mama balances him. Now that's the spirit. You go to Papa with a plan. You go to Papa to help you work through what you got going on here in this physical. Now we're talking about the physical, all right? Once again, father spirit, his element is air. All right. And even in the tarot deck, air is connected to the swords. All right. So that has to do with the intelligence, this physical, tangible knowledge we have here. So that's why they balance one another. He is the visible, of course. So Mama, universe, Father, spirit. That's water and that's air. So we have the divine masculine, we have the divine feminine, creating source, and reflected here upon earth. We have the other two elements, the sun, fire. Now, when we say the sun, the SUN is the collective. The SON is the black man. Now, the SUN will be the collective of the black man. Of course, the sun element is fire. That's all about the passion, all right? The physical reflection of Father Spirit here on earth. Now, the fire and the air make up the physical. All right, these are the physical elements. These are the masculine elements. All right, and the fire in the tarot deck as well will be the passion will be the wands. All right, dealing with all that tangible, physical, elemental parts of life. All right, then we'll make it over to our last piece of the feminine, which is the whole. This is the value of this is the value of the operation. This is our whole purpose of being. This is the reason for this existence of this illusion, which we are here to correct, which is it's time. This is the beginning of the turnaround of the resurrection of Daughter Earth. All right, Daughter Earth, which makes up the fourth piece of the holistic source. Okay, the four royal members of the Black cosmic family. Okay, the four royal elemental energies the universe expresses itself through. Okay, Daughter Earth is the value. Okay, or is the Black woman. Okay, so when we're talking about why is it the value of the mission, it's because Daughter Earth has fallen from the holistic family. Daughter Earth has fallen, and that means the Black woman as well. Everyone here in this physical, all of our purpose will surround in some way, have to do with the collective rise of Daughter Earth, with the collective rise of the Black woman. Okay, and that you can't just focus on the rise of the Black woman without rising the Black men, which is why we just we're moving into the area where the divine feminine is rising after the divine masculine has rose. All right. Now that I have covered that, and of course, I don't know if I mentioned, but Daughter Earth, her element is Earth, of course. So now that I mentioned that, it's only right to dive into this reading. Now, like I disclosed, this is not my perspective. This is not my knowledge. This is not my opinion. This is truth. You resonate. Those who resonate, this is for. Those who don't, we're not here for the skeptics. Okay. So if I know people aren't so familiar with tarot, it's just another form of communication, or a way to communicate with source, the highest and higher realms. Okay. specifically do we need cards to communicate? I personally, I don't. It's just another tool that I do use. It's good to have a visual, okay, to balance the metaphysical connection and the pull that's going on with the channeling, and have something physical and tangible as well for people to be following along with. So I do use tarot. I also am using oracle cards as well. I feel like you can personally not just use tarot or oracle. It's the balance, okay? So let's dive in. So before I do get into the cards, I have some astrological dice that you can also find on the same website where you will be able to purchase this Kemetic set of tarot cards if you do. So let's get into it. So first we have the moon coming out in Capricorn in the 4th house. And so we were just talking about Mama Universe, Mama, the hidden realm, the internal, okay? And of course that is the moon, all right? She is represented by the moon. And then we have Capricorn. Now Capricorn's opposite, of course, you can't just look at one side because then it's not a holistic viewpoint. Capricorn's opposite is Cancer. Cancer is also the sign of Mama. And Cancers are usually more in tune with their moon sign and their emotions and the expressive and the sensitivity and the nurture and the nature. Okay, so it's unfolding to the 4th house, and the 4th house has to do with the mother, the roots. Okay, your heritage, where you come from. All right. So just with these dice coming out, and we are in the age of Aquarius, all right? Not only are we in the age of Aquarius, Aquarius's opposite is Leo, all right? Leaving us in the age of the creative ruler. And it's time for us, our people, to start stepping back up. We are no longer in the time to be looking for leaders or anyone outside of self, okay? It's time to go internally. Basically, with these dice here, are starting off very, very, very clearly. It's time to turn that focus inward. All right. We are done looking for master teachers. We are done looking for leaders. We are done looking for chiefs and chiefess. It's time to go within and let source lead without. All right. So there's no more depending on so much on this logic, physical information. Mother is calling those to get back in tune with those feminine aspects, that feminine energy. And we're talking energy, not gender. All right. Getting in tune with that internal rather than that external, getting in tune with that metaphysical rather than this physical, turning that focus and building that trust within source, within creation, within Mama herself. All right. Within that internal feeling. Okay. Because then you can never go wrong, right? With this physical information, there's so many different perspectives, there's so many different opinions, there's so much that weighs in on this physical. And let's not forget this, the physical is just an illusion. Okay, so wouldn't it be so much more better? Wouldn't it bring so much more peace? Wouldn't it be so much easier to trust the end all be all, the truth, the source of creation herself? All right, let's start to go internal. In order to go internal, that means, first of all, we gotta step back. And that leads me to the reading, because I was just about to go into in order to have that connection, that internal has to be cleared of all energies not serving it. All right, as well as that has to reflect externally. I spoke on my yacht. Living by my yacht is living righteously. All right. And we have the first card coming out is this Hierophant card. And I'm going to show this card for starting at the Hierophant. And this is Tahuti. By the way, I got Tahuti right here. Tahuti is the scribe of knowledge, the scribe of knowing. Okay. And we cannot just connect to Mama. Okay. We cannot just depend on our knowing and depend on our intuition. First, we have to make it so that we ourselves are dependable. Okay. You don't want to get to a point where you're just following these free flowing thoughts that are flowing through your brain, or every thought you have and you think that you're supposed to go do this or do that just because it came upon you. We can mistake that. That's why you have to practice your discernment. That's why you have to get rid and cleanse yourself of anything of your past energies not serving you, of present energies not serving you, of traumas, of shadow self, of shadow work, all of this. Mama needs space, okay? Source needs space to be able to set up shop within you and express throughout you, okay? And Mama will not, Source will not act through anyone who is not representing Source in the light of my God, in the light of righteousness, holistically. Source is not going to choose anyone who isn't following or doesn't have some type of principles or morals or values set that they are following holistically, they are following faithfully and consistently, okay? When it comes down to this exchange of energy, this physical thoughts, words, actions, they have big impact. This we know. So every time we are exchanging energy, and that is a thought, word, or action, anytime we are doing this, it has to be of the right intent. Now, this is going to take some practice. It's going to take some training, because we're overcoming thousands and past lifetimes of prior programming that is not in the light of righteousness, that is not in the light of the holistic source, okay? But it takes practice, okay? It takes discipline. It takes hard work, okay? And it really just takes you to make that decision to live in the light of righteousness. You got the Two of Swords coming out next, because this is not a game. We know we're in the age of Aquarius. You see it going all around you. I'm not here to talk about politics or what's going on in the world. I'm here simply to channel the truth from Mama. So it's time for us to make a decision. Well, not us. It's time for a decision to be made by anyone who hasn't already made one. On which side do you stand on? We were just talking about this Capricorn. Capricorn is all about integrity. It's about the leader. And we can't depend on a leader who doesn't have integrity. We can't depend on a leader who we can't trust. We can't depend on a leader whose characteristics doesn't match, okay, what they're showing out in public, all right? We want a leader who is about through and through what they stand for in the light that they lead us in, okay? So it's time to make a decision, because like I said, not only is Source not going to allow you to be a vessel for the truth, or allow you to be a vessel, excuse me, my candle is burning, or allow you to be a vessel for Source at all, if you are not worthy, all right? Especially if you are claiming to be, or if you are choosing to think that you are acting with integrity and acting in the light of your morals and acting in the light of your principles. However, that's not the case 100% of the time. That's not the case in the times that it matters. That's not the case behind closed doors. That's not the case. And it even goes deeper than just this physical. We have to constantly be exchanging that energy with Source, all right? We have to constantly be exchanging that gratitude. Every time I do anything, every time something goes in my manner, from the smallest thing, I could spill something. Gratitude, abundance. Oh, it didn't spill on me. Anything. We have to start constantly exchanging this gratitude. Gratitude is the language of Source. Not only that, we have to start identifying our own connection to Source. Everyone has their own spiritual layout or map of how they connect and how they will be a light or beacon to this world. Okay, that comes with its own separate connection to Source. How I connect to Source, how I channel Source, how I perceive Source, how Source speaks to me and speaks through me is not going to be how anyone else. It's not going to be anyone else's connection. It's going to be different in every single way. But in order to even get to this point where we start getting familiar with this and identifying our connection to Source, yes, we have to work on our morals, principles, and values. But not only that, we have to choose a side and stay on that side. This Two of Swords, you have to choose a side and stay on the side, because you can't hop from one side to another. If you're going to be over here, be over here. You're not going to get the full kickback, or you're not going to get the full experience of the magic, of the truth, of the wisdom, or the blessings that you would if you were to be on your side to do or die. You know, people want to run back to the wrong side. People want to run back to what is the easy side, to the physical side, all right? To the air and the fire when those are the physical elements, by the way, when it's getting hard. Because being over here is not easy. It's not easy at all. It's not easy because you know highest, therefore you have to act in the highest manner at all times. It's times that I would love to act out how I used to when I get mad, when I get pissed off, when somebody frustrates me. But I have to act out of characteristics of Mayat. I have to act out of righteousness. I have to act out of a place of unconditional love. For I know that everyone who I feel or I perceive has hurt me or did me any type of wrong, that I signed that contract with them. And everything I'm talking about, I'm sorry, I'm talking about showing the cards. I'm sorry. I went into the Empress, this Empress energy. And see, with reading, it's a collective thing. It's just not card by card. So now I'm going into the Lover's energy right here. As I'm saying, I'm not taking anything too personal with anything that's happening. I can't react as if anything is happening to me when I'm exchanging energy with the reflection outside of myself, because I signed that contract. No matter if they hurt me, no matter if they uplifted me, no matter if they taught me, no matter if they blessed me, I'm going to give gratitude. I'm going to act out of a place of unconditional love. I'm going to keep that higher knowing and that balance within self, that emotional balance, that stability and balance between physical and metaphysical, because I know highest. I know the purpose. I see the bigger picture. Okay, all of these are puzzle pieces to the final destination. Everything we're doing are puzzle pieces to the final destination. Therefore, it's time to start looking at the bigger picture for the bigger picture and acting on the bigger picture, not acting on the little things that you feel that you're perceiving to affect you in the light of what is occurring in this physical, because it's happening for you. It's time to stop playing victim. It's time to stop feeding into these self-destructive habits and tendencies, because that's just the fear. That's the fear, worry, doubt, and anxiety that we've been programmed with constantly all of our lives, that we're still having to be conscious about in our day-to-day as we operate in this system. Until you get your ass off grid somewhere and you have complete control over what is coming in and out of your senses. Day to day, we have to stay conscious about these things, because it's not like we were born this way. Okay, it's not like a vegan who's been vegan for 16 years. It's easy for him to ignore a piece of meat. It's the opposite here. Okay, we're breaking away from the system. Okay, so it's gonna be so easy to run back to it. It's gonna be so easy to run back to it. However, we have to persevere through these hard times with this chariot. We have to persevere through these hard times in this physical. We have to balance our physical reality, our physical knowing, our logic, our air, and our fire with our metaphysical, with our water and our earth, with our higher knowing, with our internal. All right? Like I said in the beginning, it's time to start going within. There's no more time to be looking for any type of answers outside of ourselves. There's no more time to be acting in any type of ignorance if you know better. Because now sources no longer, there's no more time for mess ups and whoops and resurrections and none of that. No, if you're with it, source is taking you. Source is ready and is ready and is here and is picking and choosing and evolving all those who are a spiritual warrior. Aries started 21. Aries started on 21st. That's why I got my red behind me. We're in the age of the spiritual warrior. All right. We are in World War III. This is a warfare. Our warriors of an army fighting any type of war need to be trained, need to have loyalty to their cause, to their nation, to their source of energy. All right. That's the morals. That's them values. That's them principles. Wake up in the morning and read the 42 Mayat principles. Before you go to bed at night, reread them and see what you did wrong. See what you didn't do. See what you could have done better. And make it a point to do that tomorrow and continue to do it. Start there. That's where you start. People will get so much information. Source will come through and people will take it all in, be grateful, and take the knowledge and not do nothing with it. Still live in the same light. They may exchange it, they may speak on it, they may act like they know it, act like they live by it, but they don't. They don't use it. So this is because they don't know how. So this is how you start. You start by applying it, holding yourself accountable. You have to start acting and applying this higher knowing, applying these morals, applying these values, applying these principles, applying this love, this unconditional love and understanding in the times where you feel like you just don't have it. And the times where you really have to dig down and pull that shit up out of you. That's where it matters. That's where it matters. That's where you got to look at this stuff as energy. So, and it's levels to this shit. It's levels. So you want to look at it as a game, do that. We need to come out on top. We need to come out as a winner. You want to take your lifetime back to source like a trophy, and hand it to them with honor. Okay? For you have just completed your mission. You have just completed your soul purpose through every hard battle. You want to be the spiritual warrior. You want to be the spiritual warrior. You want that title. You want that completion. Okay? You want that success. If you want it, then you got to choose to be on the side that'll get you there and follow it. And you got Set coming out. That's the devil. Right next to this Ace of Aunts with the Ace of Cups. Okay? You know, we have this self-destruct tendency. You know, when things start going good for us, we start getting out of control. We start losing what we just learned. Okay, whatever lesson we just went through, because everything is cycles and patterns. Our numerology, excuse me, I didn't even go into the numerology dice, is 8. Everything is cycles and patterns, okay? Whenever we're in a good flow, things are going good for us, okay? We have sometimes the tendency to mess it up for ourselves. It could be subconsciously or consciously. It could be both. Just by indulging in things you know you should not, or doing things that do not work for you. You understand? Doing things that you know are not serving you, or surrounding yourself with people that aren't serving you, surrounding yourself with people that are dragging you down. And it's just for what? Just because you don't have that faith, you don't have that love, you haven't really developed physically that strength. You haven't pulled it down out of the metaphysical to persevere through each and every test to get the fruition of all that is awaiting you. It is time for purification. Look, and if you're not, look, with the Hangman coming out next, if you are ignoring every sign, every setup for you, don't prepare to go anywhere. Source is setting everybody up. Everybody, no matter if you're aware of this shit or not, no matter if you're conscious or not, no matter if you're asleep or awake, no matter if you're a politician or nobody, whatever, Source is setting everyone up in this exact manner. Everyone is going through the same thing. Everyone's reality is crumbling. Everyone's reality is crumbling because the reality is crumbling in the collective. It's the tower energy everywhere because this world is going through a transformation, this time and energy in earth. We are literally fighting a war. It's not a game. It's not a game. And I may be coming off a little, but this is Source coming through. This is the urgency Source wants you to feel behind this message. Because Source is going to keep yanking your chain. If somebody watching this video or somebody that's going to watch this video who's not present now, but and this may apply to a lot of people, but this is specific right here. Source is going to keep putting you back in this same spot until you act like you know why you keep coming back here. You know, it's the self-destructive tendency. It's like we get so far, we take 10 steps and we pull ourselves 7 steps back. We make progress and then we choose not to persevere through a little obstacle, a little test within everything that you have just built. Source wants us to persevere through the test with the armor. The armor is the knowledge. Everything that we're gaining, the truth that's falling, persevere through all of this. Everything that's coming with your armor. That means when you are faced with something, you go through with the knowledge, you act through the knowledge, you go through it as yourself, and you act as yourself, whether it's good or bad. And we're not taking no demons. It's only a higher elevation. And with this Six of Scepters coming out right next to the world, coming out right next to the Nine of Scarabs, Wands of Pentacles, excuse me. Outside of this tower, outside of this chaos and this crumble, outside of these what is perceived to be as negative, or you losing, or you not being able to win, or your pain, or your hurt, or your fears, or depression, or anxiety, which you can't look past. If you would just stop telling yourself you can't look past it and open yourself to the bigger picture, you will see exactly what you need to do. Then it's on you to do what needs to be done, to rein in all of your manifestations, to rein in the entire world, to rein in everything that is owned to you, everything that has your name on it. This is the time where, the world card means all of your past lives coming together in harmony. Okay? All of that karma is finding a sweet point where it's boiling up all good, where everything is in your favor. It's success, it's luck, it's the omen, it's the great omen, it's here. Okay? Followed by this Nine of Pentacles. That's luxury, baby. Everything you want, everything you feel is you deserve, everything you're working for, you deserve it. But there are some adjustments that are required, physically and metaphysically. It can't just be done on one end. And getting into this oracle, you got a full moon in Virgo. Look, we got to start doing some self-care. We got to start finding the value within self again. That is the whole purpose. That is what I was just talking about at the beginning of this reading. We went into the dice. I was telling you about the royal cosmic black family. We are all here to resurrect the value, to resurrect the purpose, back to the holistic source, so we can have equilibrium, so we can have Mayat everywhere. Okay? That means finding that value in the individual, putting that value back into the black woman, and putting that value back into self, putting that value back into Mama Earth. Now, I could talk about, there's so many different dynamics. We could talk about it from an energy standpoint. We could talk about it physically. But even if we're talking about it physically, then when we're saying putting that value back into Daughter Earth, putting that value back into the black woman, first, it requires the black woman to put that value back into self. That means we need the collective of us to stop acting a fool, to stop degrading ourselves, to stop degrading the creator. The divine feminine is rising. And only the divine feminine. If you are a part of the problem, feminine or not, you gotta go, and you will be gone. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. Even if you want to lie to yourself till you believe that you aren't a part of the problem, till you believe that your character matches who you are behind closed doors, the truth is going to reign. You cannot trick source. You cannot trick God. And the ego can slip in so easily because we are God. People get a hold of that saying right there, y'all, and run with it. That's that over masculated energy. That's that over air and fire energy. That's that ego right there. That's that imbalance of external energy. Where's the hidden? Where's the source of creation? Because correct me if I'm wrong, but Newt created the first man. This created all the children. So we need to start putting that value back where it belongs. Once us as a collective woman, we start valuing ourselves and physically and metaphysically connecting back to our source of feminine energy, connecting back to our skills and abilities, our nurturing nature, and projecting that, then the men will have no choice but to do their part. But then to give us that respect that we are owed and that value, because that's all we're accepting. Let me tell you, a year ago today, or let me say today, a year ago, the shit I was putting up with from men, I would never. You understand? I expect to be treated as God, mother of creation herself, by every king, by especially mine, because that is the energy that I'm reflecting. Of course, that essence, that space needs to be created. And that has to do with my opposite, with my balance, the king, the masculine energy. The masculine energy needs to be able to create the space to be able to allow the feminine to unfold into her essence of femininity, to express those abilities. So it's so many little pieces that need to fall into order first before the bigger picture can. It starts on an individual level. However, just remember that this is playing out collectively. So this isn't just going to go on your timeline. If you choose to keep running from yourself or running from the truth, you're just running out the clock. That's it. It's like we don't have all the time in the world anymore. Mama is ready. She's ready. Father too. And with the energy I was just going into was this oracle card here. You are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. The value. See, you can't. It's like starting this reading is like it's almost skipping so many stages first. All right. Because in order to get this is where we are right now. This is where I'm at. This is the truth I'm projecting. But however, before, it's not so easy just to instill the value in self. Before, you have to know your purpose. You have to know your very reason for existence. You got to be able to look back on every second of your life and give gratitude and know the higher meaning and you have to be able to see the bigger picture. And you got to be able to feel the gratitude that should come behind it. You got to be able to express that. And gratitude is so many things. Gratitude is the understanding. Gratitude is the attention. Gratitude is the focus. Gratitude is the good action, thought, and words you put back out. Because you're so thankful that you can live in the light of the truth. Because as we're living in the light of the truth, and when you know your purpose, when you know your soul mission and you're acting in light of it, you're serving it throughout every action and word day to day, as well as you're acting in the light of Mayat righteousness, okay, you will be taken care of with no end. You will be taken care of on no end. Source will take care of you physically and metaphysically, as long as you do your part, physically and metaphysically. Physically is living in the light of righteousness and serving your purpose. Okay, so then once you find your purpose, then it's so easy. Now that you know that you're a part of the source. Like you can't be a part of anything bigger. You're a part of the bigger picture. You have direct hand in motion of the bigger picture of the outcome. then you will be able to find that value so much more easily. So much more easily. And outside of that, you should be able to look back and find your value in the past, in the times where you treated yourself with no value and you felt as if you had no value. You should be able to do that. Because with everything that's going on, all that's happening, friends being lost, connections being lost, everything that's being lost. Everyone I've been talking to, I've been doing a lot of readings. A lot of people are saying they're losing things. Well, energy cannot be created nor destroyed, just transformed. You're not losing anything. It's removing itself out of yourself. It's removing itself out of your space and transforming into a higher state so that it can come back and serve you in the best way. Because you grew out of that. You evolved past that frequency. Prosperity is here. Prosperity is what's next. But we have to align. We have to fall into line. We don't have no other choice. We have to choose a side and we have to stay on it. And when we choose a side, by the way, when we choose a side, you cannot just choose when to hop back over the line. You cannot just choose to resonate and do with what resonates with you and do away with the rest. You can't do that. You can't just choose what works for you. You can't just choose what feels good for you. Because the things that are hurt right now may start feeling better the more you do them. And the things that may hurt may be what's best for you. Look, Source may tell you, or Source may create something in your reality or tell you something that is just earth-shattering and shaking, and then 5 seconds later tell you the exact opposite, because that's what you need to hear in that moment. Do you want Source to have to go to that magnitude where they disrupt your entire world to get your attention? Then stop acting ignorantly. Act on Source when you feel it. Act on Source when you feel hurt. Act on Source when you hear him. Act on Source, okay? The more we try to go against it, the more it's going to go against you, and you will not win. We're more powerful together. It's the I and I. Now, you do your part, and prosperity, it lies ahead. Abundance, it lies ahead. Happiness, peace, joy, harmony, love, all of it. Anything you want, you can have it. But do what you came here to do for me, says Source. Don't forget the purpose. Don't forget the mission. Don't forget the value. We get so caught up in the air and fire. Now, let me tell you, that's the white man's element. The white man can only affect us. The white man can only get to us through the air and the fire. The white man cannot access feminine energy. The white man cannot access the hidden room. The white man cannot access mama or the magic or earth. The white man has no access to it. The white man can only get us, can only hurt us physically. He can only destroy us here within this illusion. And what creates an illusion? Imbalance. What's out of balance? Daughter Earth has no value. There's too much, it's over-masculated energy. There's no balance within the feminine. The value is not there where it needs to be. The white man. He has all that power over here in the air and the fire and the physical. That's why they will get to you. And that is why we are trying to unlearn and unprogram ourselves. Because the white man has gotten his 180 degrees max of what he can do to us. That's why we are now in the age of Aquarius, opposite of Leo, the creative leader, the creative ruler, because then it's time for the tables to go back. It's time for the tables to turn, going back to how it was when it originally was. When we were on top. When our power was at its magnitude. When we were holistic. Period. And when we all knew the truth and acted upon the truth. When the not just see when the collective was there, when the collective was holistic. It's a lot of us individually on our paths, on our soul mission, but it's not enough. That's why while we're all healing, everyone will have a purpose and that will have to do with healing in some way. Why? Because we're in the illusion where we're reinstating the value back into the Black woman or daughter Earth. So we're too busy healing. We're trying to heal ourselves, heal our family, heal our neighbor, we too busy healing to do anything else. So that's what we need to focus on. You got the Star Brothers coming out, and we're going into different oracle cards. You got the Star Brothers coming out following lifting the veil. Now, before I go into lifting the veil, before I go into the first one, Star Brothers, lifting the veil is all about questioning everything. It's about the truth falling. It's the age of Aquarius. And anything, this card literally says, anything unaligned must go. See, when the truth starts falling, nothing has nowhere to hide. It's like the sun coming out after it been dark all night. The little sneaky shit can't happen anymore because everything is visible. When we start to align with the truth, yes, chaos tends to happen. Things tend to crumble. Things tend to fall because, and only because, what you knew to be true, what you aligned yourself with, what you acted on day to day was not the truth and was not right. So now that you are aligning with truth, now that you are aligning in the light of Mayat, things must crumble so that they can be rebuilt. It's so much more easier to be able to go with the flow. Things start crumbling, things start falling, you know where to turn inward. Find that why. Find it. We also have to know, once we start aligning with the truth, just because I remember when I was younger, my mother used to always say, what she used to say? Something about the dark. Y'all know the phrase. But I used to always, about the truth. Oh, everything comes to light. That's what it was. Everything comes to light. And that used to scare me when I was younger. Because I used to always be doing shit I ain't had no business doing. Right? But as truth falls, if you are aligned as well, if you are open to the truth, if you are open and you won't have anything to hide, even if you do have things to hide and you are ready to align, you must just surrender. Hand the wheel over to source. I'm sorry, I'm looking for this. Hand the wheel over to source, because you have to remember, everything is happening for you. Nothing is happening to you. Nothing is going against you. Okay? At the end of the day, this is all you. This is all you. And we have to be able to remember and know how much power we have. We have to be able to remember who we are really working for, what we are really a part of. And as we are directly in the light of that mission, then we should know that we are constantly, with this Star Brothers here, we are constantly protected. That's that Horus energy. We are constantly protected. As long as we have to leave our loyalty in the faith of truth, okay? We got to we have to have that trust in self, trust in mama. We got to get out of those physical realms, out of that masculine energy where we only depend, or that left brain, that left brain mindset where we only depend on what we know, that Virgo logical, no. It's time to go within. And that's another part of the fact that there's no more time to look for answers or to look for guidance or leaders outside of yourself. You go within. And someone might be like, well, I don't know everything. Yeah, you just have to remember it. Sit with yourself. Connect to source. Download it. Channel it. You gonna come up with it. If you feel like it ain't working, you got too much stuff blocking it. Get to work. Something told me to pull another card. It says a win-win outcome is in forecast. Full moon in Libra. And I was feeling that Libra energy because right now it's all about a balancing act. It's a balancing act. But either way it goes, if you're aligning and if you're doing your part, if you're living in truth and righteousness, okay, when that light comes, you don't have anything to worry about. You won't lose on any end. Even things we thought we were losing. Because right now we're losing, people are losing everything. You're losing a relationship, you're losing money, you're losing a business, you're losing people. It doesn't matter. You haven't lost anything. And that you thought you lost, you will see that it was really a win. You will see that you did not lose, and you cannot lose on any level. You cannot. See, the other day I woke up, and the way my morning started, I wasn't too good off, the way things were looking. And while I felt that I could be very nervous and I could be very anxious and I could be very negative in that moment, Source is so powerful within me. I'm so powerful within self. I have so much faith and loyalty and trust within self, within my own, here in this physical me, my yacht. I have so much trust within myself, my skills, my talents, my abilities, and my purpose that I knew them little fears don't hold nothing to me. I mean, when I was on a plane coming from Atlanta, and it was turbulence, and it was strong turbulence, and everybody was looking around like, oh shit, if only I could have stood up and said, relax, I'm on this plane. You know what I mean? That's how much faith you gotta have on yourself. I knew we wasn't going down, because I knew I'm not done here. I'm far from it. Can't nothing touch me. Can't nothing hurt me. Can't nothing worry me. Can't nothing put fear in me. Because I know my purpose. I stepped out on my whole career in the Marine Corps to follow my life journey, to service my reflections, to service my people, to be the vessel of source that I am. I gave it up. I left everything with nothing but a suitcase of clothes, no money, no nothing, to serve my purpose. Burned all my bridges, but I did not care because I knew what I was working for. Even though it didn't look so clear, even though it didn't look as safe and nurturing as it is now, I knew it was there because I knew me. I knew my purpose, and I knew who I was working for. And it was, and I knew that kind of subconsciously, like it wasn't even very prominent. This, and you have to take that amount and those measurements of faith out of the bank and cash it in and let mama prove herself to you. Let father prove herself to you. Let source prove themselves to you. Because just how we got to build our trust, source got to learn to trust us. We got to learn, source understands that we have to learn to trust. We just coming out of all this programming that we've been under for all these years. So we know source is going to be patient. Source is understanding. Because you are understanding. You want source to understand, you understand. You want source to be patient, you be patient. You want people to stop treating you so bad, you stop treating people so bad. Or stop treating yourself so bad. See, we fall into a victim state of mind when we stop looking at the holistic point of view. And it's time to take action. That's what this card says. It's time to take action. It's time to start turning all of this around. It's time to start correcting our wrongs. It's time to start aligning with the truth, holding ourselves accountable, holding everyone around us accountable, getting rid of and allowing those energies that aren't serving us to walk away. Because a lot of us hold on to them out of fear. out of anxiety, out of worry, out of doubt, out of no love. See, that is the first step for a lot of people is really learning what it means to really love yourself. And that's the whole other hour of talking. So we're going to keep going, but it's time to start putting that action forward. It's time to start taking care of yourself better. We'll take care of the next person more than we take care of our own selves. It's time to stop. Okay? It's time to stop. Get it together. Mothers, sources drop this on me. When source is right now, we're speaking about taking care of ourselves. That reflects back to our children. If I'm talking about self-care and you a mama, that means your children need self-care too, as well as you. You take a bath, they need to take a bath. All right, these are our little everything you're doing for yourself, we need to do for the children. Because let me tell you, this aligning that we're doing is not for us. Ain't none of it for us. Ain't nothing we doing day to day for us in the light of our mission. It's for source and it's for the next person. It's for our purpose. It's for the ones we're here to serve. You understand? With the Two of Wands coming out, the Two of Cups. All right. This is and we got that's back to back. We got the Two of Cups in both of the tarot decks. I mean, in both of the tarot decks that came out, but because I shuffled another one, I'm sorry. Y'all don't need to know that. But the Two of Cups. That's that balance. All right. So we need to start taking care and exchanging that love, exchanging that emotional stability, that emotional nurture to us in every extension that's right directly from us. Okay, the children, like I was saying, everything we're doing, nothing is for us. Everything we're doing is specifically for these children because we bettering ourselves, we aligning ourselves with this knowledge. Well, I know my drive on aligning myself with this knowledge so holy is because I know that I'm gonna pass this stuff down through my legacy. That I'm gonna have this part in the recreation of the new earth because that is what's happening. That's what's taking place in front of us right now. Is the new earth? All right, and there's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do but align ourselves with the truth and act in it. We have to make sure that this knowledge that we're sharing, that we're raising our children in, okay, that we're raising other people's vibrations, and we're trying to evolve people with knowledge. We have to make sure that the knowledge is of holistic view, okay? Because we can only we can sit and we can give somebody what we feel is helpful advice, or we can sit and we can give someone what we feel is the right thing to say. But at the end of the day, before we speak or before we give our piece, we have to ask, is it in balance holistically? Is it balanced? Is it just my personal opinion, or is it balanced with the opposite? Through all these things, through all this transformation, through all of this change, yes, we must go with the flow. Yes, we must let what is to occur and what is happening occur, and we must let it happen. And however, through this, you will start to see that because when things start changing and when things start moving, we start to look for something to grab onto. We start to look for something to hold on to that's familiar. That's proof that we don't have sense of self. Okay, it's time to start finding that comfort, that balance, that sense of self within self. Wouldn't it be nice for when things start getting shaky or out in your reality, or when somebody pisses you off, or when things are just going left and you thought they were finna go right, that you can go and wouldn't it be nice to be able to go within and be at complete peace? Wouldn't it be so nice to be your own source of balance? Well, we've been talking about for the past hour and 4 minutes on the steps we could take to do that. And we were with this Capricorn coming out, we were talking about integrity and characteristics and being yourself. Through all this transformation, you're not gonna lose you. And through the fall, see, this is one reason why things must crumble, why things must fall, so you can see what really still stands. So you can see, because when you lose everything, it's like you just got you butt naked in the frame, vulnerable. You got the real you. You get a chance. It's almost like you get a chance to see yourself for the first time. You get to meet yourself for the first time. You get to identify, oh, this was my energy all along. You know, you get those moments. You get used and familiar to you. You have to let that happen. And not only do you have to let that happen, you have to let that be seen. Like the more familiar you get with self, you know, the more in love you start to fall with self, the more in alignment you start to fall. When I say self, you can use self and source interchangeably. There's no separation. You will see the manifestation of what you have built. You will see how good it feels, what you have worked on, how good it feels to be this new and approved you that you know, that can't nobody tell you about, that can't nobody question without you giving an answer. You know, it's time to build that, and it's time to stop practicing projecting that. It's time to let yourself be seen for who you are, the vulnerable side of you. Start doing things that you don't do normally. Start exchanging energy that you don't normally exchange. Start being sensitive to people and in situations that you wouldn't be sensitive in. See where it takes you. Women, start using that feminine energy. Start using that seduction and that sensual energy. You know what I'm saying? You got it for a reason. It gets us places. There's balance in everything you do, though. All right, so I ain't saying go crazy, but use your feminine powers. Men, use your masculine powers to maneuver this shit. But it has to be in the light of righteousness, because once we abuse the power, once we lose our integrity, that's when source flees. Source is gone. Source, like I said in the beginning, source will not occupy a vessel who is not worthy. Right now, if I let my ego take over and if I succumb to it, this chance, I will start losing my sense of word. I would start jittering. I wouldn't know where to go. I would just be rambling. You know, I would start talking from here. Right now, I'm talking from here. Because I'm not abusing my power. I'm not abusing my vessel. I'm not abusing my abilities. I'm not abusing or manipulating and contorting the truth to fit me. You know what I'm saying? Or to fit what I choose to be true, what I choose to live by. It's so important right now while everything is crumbling, that or while everything is crumbling and while we're building our new sense of self, it's so important that we remember that even when if the day is bad here in this physical, that means you're having a great day metaphysically. Your spirit is having the best day, all right? Even if you feel alone here in this physical, your phone is dry, okay? And you feel as if this transformation, this change, and this evolution has uprooted you from what you know to be cool and comfortable and cool, you know, then you need to take a deep breath, because you're finna start stepping backwards. And this is really the fear that's arising. And we start to do stupid things when we start to make actions out of imbalanced emotions. When we get too deep into the air and fire. All right. We have to remember at all times that we got the love. You got the love. Hold on. You got the love that cannot be mimicked. You got the love that can't be replaced. You got the love that can't be faked. You got the love that is unconditional. All right, that's not going to change, coming from source. That needs to be enough. That needs to be enough for you. That we need to start getting to a point where mama is enough, where her love is enough, where her knowing and knowledge is enough. Of course, I say mama course, father is a part of source. Source. That's why I try not to say mom or father too much, but it's my feminine draw. Okay? Source. We need to start getting to a point where we can depend on source with 100%. Where before we try to start manipulating stuff in the physical, we say, okay, source, I'm going to let you take it. Before we act out of stupidity or confusion or fear or worry or doubt, that we take a second to remember, hold on, guess who I'm working with? This is the point that we need to get to. The Wheel of Fortune. This is the point that we need to get to. This will bring you, wow, that's what's going to bring you. Like, I just got chills. Aligning with see, I know it's a energy pulling everyone in one direction right now. Aligning with that, flowing with it, not questioning it. It will bring you it's almost like sources made me do this, like in my head. You'll be looking back on your past like, wow, why didn't I do this sooner? Or why was I so scared to do this? Or why did I think that? Because let me tell you, anytime you think something is scary, or you think something is let me stick there. Anytime you think something is scary, or you're second guessing something that you've never had the chance to set any of your senses on, that's your programming. You going somewhere you don't know about, you finna do something you don't know, you want to indulge in a new idea, and you haven't physically done it yet, but your fear is going to scare you away. That's set right there, all right? Don't let that, do not see. God will only send set in to test you. See, the devil are tests. These are things we must overcome. They're boundaries. They're things we persevere through. They're like I like to think of the devil as opportunities to level up quicker, to transcend faster. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like a Mario Kart game to me. You eat the little thing, you start driving way faster, almost like that. If I overcome and I eat this this thing holding me back, I get it out the way I know how in the light of my yacht, or you're going to be transcended. You're going to evolve to the next level. This is how we must start adapting to source. This is how we must start adapting to life in general, right? Oh. And these final two cards, they kind of go hand in hand, because it's like, here's the answer that we need to stick with from this point forward, until source has delivered you a new answer. If you don't know what to do, okay, you don't know how to feel, if you feel like in a moment you don't know the right from wrong, if you don't have the strength to choose what's right, you need to turn internally rather than externally. It's time for you to start leaning on you, leaning on source, leaning on all that magic, leaning on that hidden room, leaning on that feminine energy, leaning on that balance, okay? It's like the clarity. It's like the higher knowing. It's the breath of fresh air. I swear, the more you start to identify and get in tune with, and the more trust that is built between you and source, the more you all start to exchange the energy, I swear, it's like I could never be alone again in my life, personally. I feel like I could take on any damn thing. I feel like I would know what to do with the worst possible news right now. I can't say I may not cry or give an emotional reaction, but after I had my emotional reaction that isn't self-destructive, I would move in the righteous light. Because I have so much faith in source. I have so much faith in my purpose and in my journey and in my mission that I know all is happening on my account for me. Things are even happening behind the scene that I can't see. So it's always good to factor in those blessings. When I think about the future and I'm making plans, I always leave room for the blessings. I may have $100 less than what I want to have, but I still go. You know what I'm saying? The blessings. You gotta get that faith. You gotta start to rely on source that strongly to be able to see the magic. There can be no doubt behind the intent. There can be no doubt behind the action or no doubt behind the words or anything. Yeah. This is all a part of the new world, the new earth. What life as we know it has changed and won't be the same as it was in the past before 2020. And it's not going to be the same as it is, I want to say, here in the next year or two. We are in a transitional period where we are tearing down and rebuilding, where we are being tested. And if you are a part of the problem, then source is politely showing you the exit. Or impolitely, it depends on what you and your connection to source. But there's no more hiding. There's no more running. There's no more trickery, manipulation. It doesn't matter if you feel like your knowing is the highest. The truth will win at all costs. So it's better that we align ourselves with truth and align our lives and our physical realities with truth than do it any other way. It's just better that way. It's easier. And this truth not only does it make this physical easier, navigating it. It's like the knowledge that we have, the knowledge that is available to us from source. It's answers. It's like a map on how to navigate your way through this physical experience to your destination, to success. Now, I'm gonna stop the reading there. And I just want to see if I'm going to have Sister Joy. Can you put my poster up, please? I'm sorry, I'm coming back down from the my flyer, please. Coming down from that was a rush. I do offer. I just want to say thank you first. Thank you. I extend my gratitude to everyone watching this, to everyone who will watch this in the future. And I encourage all of you to align with whatever serves you and your highest knowing and your life purpose and your mission. Align with it, and go within. Lean on your inner knowing. Do what you believe you should do first before you believe anyone else should do it. And always know that, remember, we are not alone. And it's okay to look for help, to look for motivation and encouragement, to get that outside of yourself. However, we need to start building building ourselves to where we can depend on ourselves for everything that we need. And that's not a bad thing, because in depending on ourselves, we're depending on source. All right, that's not the masculine energy where, oh, I don't need a man. It's dependent on source. It's dependent on what we know. So I do offer readings. That was my flyer up. I do readings with cards, tarot only, oracle and tarot, as well as just intuitive guidance with no cards. And I don't charge for my readings. I only take donations. So if anyone would like some more individual and direct, exchange or line between you and source, if anyone would like some direct guidance, some one-on-one time, then I am here as well. It is my passion, and I do it gratefully with much gratitude. All right. Yes, and I'm grateful once again for this opportunity, for this platform, to be able to share the truth, to be a vessel of it. And I want us as a collective to rise. And I want everyone to hold yourselves as well as your immediates accountable to righteousness in all manners and on every level. All right. That is living in Mayat. So familiarize yourself with Mayat. Start to identify your connection with source, and start to clear out those energies that aren't serving you, and only serve the ones that are. All right. Peace, love, and balance. And once again, I extend my gratitude. And that's all I have for today.